Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel. I've got these 3 photos to scrap. Now these are construction walls at Epcot. And then today's sketch is this one. And then of course the prompt is scraps. Now you guys know me, you know that I really don't keep a lot of scraps. Like these are the scraps that are like handy right now. Like these are not, and they don't really go together, right? Like, we're not making that happen. So I might cheat and use a 6x6 or a 6x8 pad. So let's see what I can do. All right, guys, so I grabbed my 6x6 paper bin, and this is where I store all of my papers. Now, I do store them a little bit by manufacturer and a little bit by color and a little bit just by paper pad. So I do what makes sense to me, and that might not make sense to you. Of course, I have all of my Brutus Monroe at the top, or the front rather, and then I have paper pads, and then it goes into kind of a rainbow order, and then it goes back into paper pads. It's just what makes sense in my head. I can't even explain it more than that because most people would be like, Sandy, you're a psychopath. Like, that makes no sense whatsoever. So I am going through, I'm trying to find big, bright, bold, colorful patterns because of the stripes that are on this construction wall at Epcot. Now, I originally went for that one rainbowish stripe paper, but decided to go with this one instead because it did not have a divider between each of the colors. The colors just kind of ran together in this one, and I liked that a little bit more. So now I'm thinking I need at least one more color, and I'm just trying to figure out what color I want to really introduce here. I was really looking for a nice deep purple color, and then everything that I felt would work color-wise didn't work with how it felt. Like that navy blue would have been a great color version for it, but since all of my other papers were so graphic and that one was kind of fabric-y feeling, it just didn't go. So I ended up going with this polka dotted paper. This is actually a slimline paper from Brutus Monroe. And then I was like, you know what? Now I need 12 by 12 papers. I'm not going to be so creative that I'm just using scraps of paper, you know, in its entirety to do this layout. Now, I have taken that challenge before in the past. I'm not sure if I've ever videoed it where you literally only use scraps of paper, and that consists of washi taping papers together so then it doesn't show. Like it's a process, you guys. I do trim down the photos, so I trim them down to 4x4 instead of these 4 photos that are across the top in the sketch. I did have 4 wall photos, but I felt like if I would have trimmed them down so much so that I could fit all 4 photos across the top, I would have lost something in the photo. Yes, this is the same one long wall, and it's just different. Like I'm just standing in different parts of the street, basically taking the photo, but it just, it just felt like it was losing something. So I have this zigzaggy paper right here, and I place that across the top of my layout. I am going to use my grid mat to line up this black and white striped washi tape. Now, I love the combo of this color together, like the peachy pinky color and the white and the black, like that just, like this just sets my soul on fire, you guys. I love this combination. However, I end up covering about all of the washi tape up because my photos do span just about the entire layout. Now, I could have trimmed them down a little bit more and then, you know, been able to see pieces from the washi tape, but I didn't. What I did realize at the moment was I can't have a 4x4 photo across my page, otherwise it'll cover up the washi tape completely, and I did want to give the nod to the sketch where it's kind of sitting on top of that paper layer. So I cut it down to 3.5 by 4, and then that way I have a little bit of a gap. So I'm trying to figure out which place I like my photos the best, which way it just feels right. Like, right, guys, like we talk about this a lot. Like, if your brain is kind of more an emotional brain than a logical brain, you gotta go with what feels right. And I just asked my husband. I'm definitely more emotional than logical. But then in other things, I'm very logical. I don't know. But when I'm scrapbooking, it's a very emotional process. It's what feels good. It's what gives me that happy, that happy little feeling inside. So I do that. I figure out which direction the photos should go, like which space they should be in. And I'm like, yes, this makes me happy. So now I'm going to cut the banners. Now I'm just cutting these in varying widths. Some of them, I think I cut one at like 3 inches, some of them at 2 inches, some of them at 1 inch, I want to say, maybe 1.5 inches. It's just a variety of widths. I'm not being scientific about it. I'm just whatever feels good. Like whatever feels good in that moment that I'm cutting is what I'm going to do. Now, if I grabbed those same exact papers right now and went to cut with them, would I have picked the same exact colors for the same exact measurements? Probably not. Because like I said, it's how I'm feeling at the time, and it's just whichever one I grab and, grab and go. So I do use this awesome little fishtail banner maker thing that my friend MK sent me. I think I frustrated her drawing the little lines for my banners. And then I quickly discovered that even if the paper doesn't exactly fit in there, I can finesse it and make it seem like it did. That way I'm going to have the same angle on each of those banners instead of having something different each time. So now I'm going to add adhesive to the back of all of them, and I'm going to shove them up in there and get it figured out. So in the sketch, the banners look like they line up with the photos, but I didn't want that because I don't like that. Like I like little teeny bits of hangover. So I'm going to make that happen. Now I do have 2 of the red ones, and I think I also go back and I cut another purple one. I do, here I am doing it, just because I want a couple of layers. Now in the sketch, all of the banners are covered up together. There aren't gaps between them, but like I said, my layout, I'm doing it the way I want. I'm doing it the way that it makes me feel happy. So if gaps in your banners make you happy, do that. If a ton of layering makes you happy, do that. If popping them up a little bit with some foam makes you happy, do that. Now, I did toy with the idea of popping up these edges on foam, but I decided not to. Ultimately, I was like, this is a lot of color going on here, and I am enjoying it. So I grab some acrylic pieces. These are from Close to My Heart, and I'm just like, you know what? I need to get these used up and out of my stash. I get to a point where I have like some things that I'm like, just get it used up, just get it gone. Like I'm tired of seeing it. And it's not I'm tired of seeing it, I don't like it anymore. It's I'm tired of seeing it and I want to go buy new pretties, or I want to go cut new pretties with the laser. So it's there. Like I'm kind of like, okay, and I need to be done. I actually do need to cut out more Mickey heads out of the laser. I've got to restock them in the store too. So that's got to happen. So now I'm just going to use my Nouveau Deluxe adhesive and get these pieces down here onto the layout. So I'm not going to do a whole heck of a lot of embellishment on this layout. And that is because there is a lot of color and a lot of pattern on this layout. Now, I feel like I tempered it with the black elements on the page, but if I would have put a bunch of decoration on this page, it would have overwhelmed me. And I know that that sounds really weird, especially when some of my pages have been super embellished, but it's all about how you feel about it. Like this page, I was like, no, girl, you don't need to go down that road. You don't want to go down that road. And that's okay. Your style, okay, this is another thing. Your style does not have to be one thing only. Like you don't have to only do one thing. So say you really like, big, bright, colorful layouts. You can make big, bright, colorful layouts and then make layouts that are pastel and soft. You can do that. Like, you're not strapped in to one scrapbooking style. You can do whatever the heck you want. Do what brings you joy. Do what makes you happy. Like, don't get stuck unless you absolutely adore doing the same thing over and over again and that makes you happy, then do it. But don't feel like, wow, somebody thinks that my style is this, so I need to do it. It's fine. Do what you want. I like to say my style is do what I want. Actually, I think my style is probably mostly colorful with lots of pattern mixing. Like that's probably the answer I give to people if they ask what my style is. But honestly, I'd rather have my style is I do what I want. So I am going to use that sticker sheet right there to put up some words, and I did add a little bit of decoration with those stickers. So the title is Progress, and then the subtitle up here is Our Everyday Epcot, because these walls are at Epcot. So there it is, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for listening to me ramble, and hopefully giving you that little push to do whatever you want to do in your scrapbooking. And I will see you guys again real soon for another video.